Welcome to Boreal Management's video series, What You Need to Know, bringing you nuggets of valuable, practical, and important HR information to help bring your organization to the next level. In this series this week, we're discussing what you need to know about the return to the office. If you're an employer and you want some tips and tricks on what to consider when bringing your employees back to the office, then keep on watching. Don't forget to turn on the subtitles in your YouTube settings, available in both English and French.
Hi, I'm Lindsay Evenden, one of the partners at Boreal Management, and in this video I'm going to go through a few things that we need to consider when bringing employees back to the office. Yes, we can hardly believe it either, but thanks to the vaccine rollout, as it stands now, it does look like we will be allowed to bring employees back in the coming months. But how the office looks when we return is something that's going to be constantly evolving. I don't want to sound like I'm stating the obvious here, but one of the first things that you should do is to consult your provincial health and safety standard guidelines for the latest updates on legislation in your area. In the unlikely event that you don't know where to find these guidelines, we've provided you some links here, and we've also added them in the video notes. As the rules are going to be constantly evolving regarding things such as distances and mask wearing, it is important to keep up with these sites for the most up-to-date information. Aside from ensuring that you meet your legal and safety obligations, it is important to consider the impact that bringing employees back is going to have on them. Let's be honest, the pandemic has been going on for over a year, and the expectations of many employees have changed, and employers have to be ready for that. Whether you have employees that feel anxious due to personal safety concerns, or whether they are anxious about giving up the convenience of working from home, for sure you're going to have questions from staff, and at this stage you're probably already getting them. At Boreal, we highly recommend asking staff how they're feeling and gathering their input. You don't have to conduct an extensive survey. A simple, confidential pulse survey with some well thought through questions can add considerable value when you're planning for the return. At Boreal, we can help you with that, and we've provided some links here and in the video notes on how you can get in touch with us for more details. In the meantime, here are some practical ideas to support with your planning. Sharing as much information as possible as early as possible is a great strategy. When will the return to work be? What new rules are going to be in place? There might be some unknowns, and you can say that too. Getting the appropriate policies and guidelines in place is crucial. We're going to be discussing this in the upcoming videos, so look out for more information. Make sure to communicate with your managers first, as your managers are your way of communicating with your employees. Make sure they have the facts so that they can share them with their teams. It's also a good idea to offer different formats of communication: email, one-on-one meetings, virtual town halls, and giving multiple opportunities for communication sharing, but more importantly, the asking of questions. The comfort levels of your employees is going to differ, and find different ways to help ease them back to being in the office with colleagues. Keep the conversation going when employees return. Our environments are going to be constantly evolving. We're going to be trying some things that work, some other things that don't work. So keeping those communication channels open is going to be really vital to making this return to work a success.
So now let's do a quick recap of what you need to consider before bringing employees back to the office. First, you need to share as much information as possible with your employees. Also, you need to get the appropriate policies and guidelines in place to be ready to go back to the office. Third is to communicate with managers first, as managers are the link to your employees. Don't forget to communicate frequently and in different forums. Try to find different ways to ease employees back to the office. And then finally, keep the conversation going when you get back to the office. Make sure that the communication channels are open and that you're ready to work as a team. Be sure to watch this space in the next couple of days as we continue discussing the topic of the return to the office. Want to take your organization to the next level? Subscribe for new content and connect with us on our social media channels. See you next time.